Hello, recorded audience. I'm testing the buffering today and seeing what happens. All right, let's see. So, this is Transformative Journeys today, exploring the impact of near death and out of body experiences. Hello, peace, and love. I'm Peter Panagore, and welcome to Not Church. Over the past 2 months, we've been on an incredible journey exploring the profound psychological, spiritual, and relational effects of near death experiences, NDEs, out of body experiences, OBEs, and spiritually transformative experiences, SDEs. These explorations have been informed by the research from the International Association for Near Death Studies, IANDS, ians.org, which provide a framework for our understanding of these transformative phenomena. Today, we're going to focus and finish this series on a groundbreaking study from the University of Virginia's School of Medicine. A shout out there to who's down there in Virginia. Hi, Jen. A shout out to Virginia this morning to the University of Virginia's School of Medicine. It highlights how OBEs, out of body experiences, can significantly enhance empathy and emotional connection in those who experience them in a permanent way. These experiences, often encountered during NDEs, sensory deprivation, or under the influence of psychedelics, have remarkable potential to lead to profound psychological transformations. We know this, right? We've experienced it. Many individuals report heightened emotional awareness after such experiences. Me, maybe you. Do you find that you can read people's feelings more clearly? The key mechanism behind these transformations is known as ego dissolution. Ego dissolution. During OBEs and NDEs, individuals often lose their sense of self, leading to a more profound interconnectedness with others and the universe. This shift in perspective fosters greater empathy and compassion. In our discussions, I've noticed that many people with OBEs report more robust bonds with those around them. Have you felt your emotional intelligence grow since your OBE or SDE? NDEs are OBEs by definition. Just wanted to throw that in. Definitely, I felt my emotional intelligence grow as a result of my experiences. So, the research from the University of Virginia delves into the neuroscience behind these experiences. Neuroscientists, including the study's lead author, Dr. Marina Wheeler, Weiler, propose that specific brain regions, particularly the temporal, temporoidal, temporietal. I know I practiced that word over and over and over again. The temporoparietal uh, junction, which is somewhere right around here, and the default mode network, which is kind of right. It's this here and here and here and here. It's a network, including the frontal lobe, which is important in our meditation. These areas are measurably play a crucial role in these transformations. The temporoparietal junction, the temporal parietal junction, Ye- or TPJ, where the temporal and the parietal lobes meet. So there's these two lobes on each side of the hemisphere of the brain, and they meet in this junction. And it's sort of an interpretive space. It's vital for understanding self-other distinction, that I am me and you are you. It for empathy and for social cognition, understanding what's going on socially. It's an activation that happens during OBEs, apparently changing the physical structure in some way. And it may explain why individuals become more attuned to other people's emotions. Not knowing where I begin and you end was my experience, especially when this whole thing began intensively back under my NDE, after my NDE. It was very confusing. So, reflecting on my personal experiences, I can relate to this idea. After my first OBE, my out of body experience, when I was 5 years old, and the subsequent NDE when I was 20, I noticed a significant change in how I perceive myself, how I understand myself and others. The distinction between self and other began to blur, creating this profound sense of interconnectedness. And sometimes it was just plain troubling. So, did you experience something similar after your OBE or STE? This blurring of boundaries can be overwhelming, especially in crowded environments. I found solace in nature, where I felt a radiant love instead of the emotional disturbances often found in social situations, at least by me. Ego dissolution enhances our emotional sensitivity and cultivates a strong sense of community and connection. That's why we share this here. Because when we're in Mystic Tea Salon, we share this emotional intelligence and our community of connection. Many of us who have had these experiences feel a calling to serve others. I do, I did, often motivated by a deep sense of empathy. I feel you, brother, we would say. I feel you, sister. That's what we're talking about. We start to see through the masks people wear, which I usually call my bull shirt meter, because you can't say it on YouTube. But it's easy to see through people's masks, or if you can't see through them because the mask is so dense, you can at least see the mask. And after your OBE, could you see through the facades of people who are present to you? Could you see their fakeness or their protection? It's not always about being fake. It's sometimes just about being protective. Are you more emotionally intelligent than you were before? Well, if you are, it's no surprise. Well, it might be to you, and it was to me, but it's no surprise to the rest of us who've been here for a while now. The researchers believe that these experiences have lasting impacts, and I can tell you they do, reshaping one's sense of self. Who am I in the world? Who am I in myself? And promoting pro-social behaviors like empathy and tolerance. Empathy and tolerance. This transformation is not just a temporary shift. It didn't go away. It can significantly change how we interact with others and with ourselves. So, have you noticed these changes in yourself? Minor or major? Massive? Do you find it easier to connect with others on a much deeper level? And does the surface level kind of drive you crazy? The default mode network, DMN, default mode network, which governs self referential thinking, who am I, is also affected by OBEs. This network is active when we daydream, recall memories, or even just think about other people. It helps us organize information in a way that relates to ourselves. The default mode network helps us understand who we are in relationship to ourselves, reinforcing our self identity. This whole system of the brain helps my brain and my egoic self identify. There's a physical structure to this. However, after transformative experiences, the default mode network, it shifts, promoting this broader sense of unity, and reducing self-centered thought processes. And that's important. It reduces self-centered thought processes because of this identification of the self and the other. The light sees itself through the brain. There's a physical thing happening here. It's not just super spiritual and woo-woo. There's physical changes that happen. Mindfulness practices, including especially meditation, can and do further enhance these transformations. And I know this because I'm an example. My life shows that my practice leads to the changes in my default mode network because I was always, I came back with this super sense and I've increased that super sense. This five senses that is seeing is one where my eyes see the light and my tongue tastes it, my hands feel it, my ears hear it, and my smell it in the roses. The light, it pervades all of my senses. There's this thing inside my brain where my five senses come together and show me the same truth in an active, perceivable, perception, present way. And it allows us, me, you, to cultivate a sense of connectedness and, of course, empathy. After returning from my experiences, I found that continued meditation deepened my transformation. It didn't end with my NDE. It doesn't have to end with yours either. Brain training, meditation. I became living proof over 4 decades of dedicated, ritualized practice that we can continually enhance and manage, and that's important, our empathetic capacities. Meditation teaches management of empathetic capacities. Why? Because in the center of yourself, when you see who you are, there's a retreat that you can go to when the energy of the emotions of everyone around you is disturbing. Right there. Cultivate the space. Now, out of body experiencers, especially those who've undergone near death experiences, often describe our altered states as, like me, more real than reality. The capital R, more real than reality. We frequently report overwhelming feelings of unconditional love and universal connection, not just on the other side, but we bring it back here. And so that means that there's some sort of brain interface happening. How does my brain know this? How do I live this thing? Well, it's because the default mode network and the temporal parietal junction. So far, this is what we know from the studies at the University of Virginia School of Medicine. And these personal accounts that they study align with my life and your life. And they indicate that out of body experiences, OBEs, can and do produce long lasting changes in personality, behavior, an outlook on life. I am a different person. I became a different person through my NDE. Every time I have a mystical experience, I become a different person. They have long-lasting, permanent behavioral and personality effects on my how I see myself and how I see the world, and you too, no doubt. And most importantly, it's noted in the study that all NDEs, and I said this when we began, involve some kind of out-of-body experience. If you have an NDE, you are out of your body by definition. So the study, it raises these intriguing questions about the therapeutic potential of out of body experiences. And we were finding this in the psychedelic studies at Johns Hopkins University and New York University, where these out of body experiences have long lasting positive impacts on people. They're disruptive too, of course. We all know that you have an OBE. It's not just all peaches and cream here, or I should say, blueberries and maple syrup here. It's it is that, but there's always some cayenne pepper shown and it's shoved in there somehow, like way too much. It's very disruptive too. Don't push your metaphor too far, Peter. Okay. Researchers suggest that a deeper understanding of these experiences for them, I mean, we understand them, right? Could lead to methods of enhancing empathy. So maybe it's not just the psychedelics, but maybe there are other ways to enhance empathy as they understand how the brain functions, besides meditation, which is right there, even among those who haven't had out of body experiences. This idea, this perspective, is particularly relevant in mental health, social work, conflict resolution, societal divisions, polarity. not polarity like therapy, but like polarization, nationally and internationally, where fostering empathy can significantly improve interpersonal relationships and social dynamics. Now, however, it's essential to recognize that the full extent of OBEs and their effects, it's unknown by science. Now, I've spent my entire freaking life trying to figure out what happened to me and how it's affecting me. So I'm sure that there are after effects that I'm probably going to grow into because that seems to be the way it is. It's the gift that keeps on giving. I keep learning not only things about what happened to me on the other side, but combined with my meditative practice, I keep growing spiritually. And that means what I mean by that is that my perception of myself and the divine in others continues to increase. My receptibility, my no, reception, what's the word I'm looking for? My physical senses capacity for receiving the light continues to grow. And these findings, they're promising for the world of science, but they also highlight the need for further research. And I'm all for the research into the psychological and neurobiological mechanisms underlying these transformations because we know that we change and there is a physical thing that happens to us. I physically feel the divine energy. I physically feel it. It's not it's I it's not, disconnected from my body. It's connected to my body, so why like, what happened? What's the physiological and neurobiological mechanism of these things? I wanna know. You might not wanna know, but I do. I do because maybe there's a way to help this along for the betterment of humanity. By understanding how these experiences reshape our brains and our perceptions, we can work to expand them as we know we do in meditation. And we can develop effective personal and societal healing strategies. People talk about healing all the time. The thing that needs most healing is at the core of our being is our self-attachment to our own egoic being. Empathy, compassion, these sorts of things, when we're talking about the healing of the nations, Jah Rastafari, Bob Marley, and all that, for the healing of the nations, we're talking about this thing. Because without it, how do we convince people? We can't. We can't convince people. It has to be a personal shift. And all of us who've been through these things, we all experience to varying degrees these personal shifts of transformation where our physical body, the neurobiology of our brain, has changed. So the spiritual world is impacting the physical world through us, changing us, be born again. And as we consider these implications of this research, let's also acknowledge the dangerous societal challenges that we do face today, particularly that polarization and what we could call an empathy deficit. Understanding how OBEs foster empathy provides this crucial insight into addressing these challenges. The researchers conclude that nurturing empathy through experiences like OBEs could yield significant personal, societal, and global benefits. And we know this. We are part of this global wave for personal, societal, and global benefit. Channel heaven. Bring the light into the world. And it doesn't have to be some big way, just how you are in your normal life, which, you can't help yourself once you have one of these experiences. You are what you became. And so every interaction that we have brings this into the world, the more especially as we learn to step aside and step aside and step aside with our brains so that with our mind so that we can allow the light to emerge on its own. Now, this After Effects series aims to help us as individuals and a global community to better understand the similarities and our transformed selves. I want us to know who we are. I want myself. Okay, so I should just talk about me. I want to know who I am in a way that my intellect can grasp. I know who I am in the way that my soul grasps. But it's this interplay between them that is where the rubber meets the road. But I want to understand myself, and I want to understand the similarities in you, in your transformed self, so that I can see that I am not alone in the world. That what you have had happened to you, and this transformation that you've undergone changed you in similar ways that it changed me. Near-death experience, out of body, spiritually transformed individuals, we have a vital role to play on the world stage and the national stage right now. So I got to ask, in your daily life, are you doing your part to foster empathy and understanding in your community? It doesn't mean agreement, okay? It doesn't mean I have to agree with you. What I mean is to understand empathetically the emotional state, the feeling, the reasons, the people who are not like you, and to approach them with compassion and understanding. So next week, we're going to compare the mystical insights of the famous Christian mystic, Meister Eckhart, who had the good sense to die before they killed him for heresy, with those of the Bhagavad Gita tradition, with Hinduism. There is this kissing sort of relationship there. And I witnessed this. What they talk about in the Bhagavad Gita tradition, what Meister Eckhart talk about in different language, it's the same thing. It's what I saw in my NDE. One of the things. We'll cover that next week. We're going to leave this series off, and we'll probably worm our way back into some of the Aramaic stuff and some of the Gospel of Thomas stuff, but intermixed with some other things that might interest us. So if you have something that you want me to talk about, let me know. These insights reveal that at their core, all mystical experiences share a fundamental understanding of the divine, infinite nature of the oneness of being, which came back with me through my transformation of my physical brain, expressing itself and the transformations that we just talked about in this series. What I found on the other side came back here with me and transformed me, and it's listed in the stuff that we talked about over the last few weeks. Maybe you too. But next week, you might find this fascinating, the supreme self, the Bhagavad Gita idea, or it's not an idea, it's a reality, and Meister Eckhart's Godhead. Yeah, that close to each other. So if you're interested in any of the research that I used for today, take a look in the description. I put a whole bunch of links down there. Now, I'm going to invite you all to join us live in a few minutes at the top of the hour for Mystic Tea Salon. And on Monday, the link is in the description. And on Mondays and Wednesdays, 8 a.m. Eastern time live. And you can do this by recording too, where we meditate together, do a little wisdom teaching, ancient wisdom teaching, practice meditation together, help you create a ritual in your life so that you can practice on your own. Because I'm not here trying to convince you to do anything. I'm here to help you find your way inside yourself. And eventually you won't need me anymore. That's the beauty of this. Because once you touch this thing inside yourself and you have the tools that you need, you'll be able to do this on your own in your own life. And that is because, my time is limited here. Maybe I'll live to 90, but my time is limited here. I want to help you help yourself. But on Mondays and Wednesdays, we cultivate a shared space for reflection and connection, help you ritualize your practice. And following meditation, you can participate in a private mystical conversation about how your experiences changed you and transformed you if you want to go to my website and book a time with me. So we can talk about it too. So Mystic Tea Salon is a space for crowdsourced wisdom. And we're going to do that coming up and at the top of the hour is a collective community. Redundant. Uh, but in our Zoom group at the top of the hour, humility, compassion, kindness, authenticity, and experiences guide our discussions. And for more information or to contact me directly, please visit www.peterpanagore.love. And thanks for being here this morning and for supporting Not Church, Mysticism. So let's continue to explore the depths of our experiences and the profound interconnectedness that binds all of us. Peace. Take a look over here. Got a few minutes, see what's going on in the chat. To become nothingness. That's the thing, Sue. To become nothingness. Scares some people for sure. But the thing of it is, it's not a nothingness that's empty. It's a nothingness that's full, which is contradictory, but I can't help that. I didn't design the system. Sending love to Maggie. I will too, but I'm not sure why, but always. I'm here in Glasgow, but child minding for a crying infant. For your Afghani refugee mum. May the child be quiet in your arms. Hi, Jan. When the false self falls away, all that's left is the true self, and that is the truth. Let's see what else we got here. And the nothingness holds the everything. Oh, I didn't read the next line, Sue. To become nothingness, and the nothingness that holds everything. That is what that's right. For sure. Meditation is trying to find out who you already are. That is what it is. Meditation is trying to find out who you already are. Jan said that. May you be blessed beyond measure. Your sharing enlivens my experiences, and I'm grateful. Thank you, Julie. Thank you. I never know whether this is all going to work. Like the teaching and guidance Jesus gave. Thank you, Peter. Yeah, Jesus knew what he was talking about. All right, so I'm going to go because we're going to meet you in the top of the hour. And peace and love to you all. Thanks for being here. Love you guys. Peace.